This podcast was originally live-streamed on the NonSequitur Show on YouTube. New episodes air weekdays, Monday through Friday, at 8 p.m. Eastern at youtube.com/NonSequitur Show. Make sure you never miss a live stream by visiting www.nonsecshow.com/schedule. For the latest news, polls and updates throughout the day, follow us on Twitter at NonSecShow or Facebook.com/NonSecShow. That's NonSeq Show. If you'd like to get exclusive content, bi-weekly private hangouts with Kyle and Steve, backstage access to chat with guests after shows hosted on your channel and much more, become a Patreon saint of NonSequitur. It ensures we continue to improve our show and brings you into the process at the same time. Visit patreon.com/NonSequitur today while the limited spots are still available.
The following podcast is intended for those who believe bold ideas are righteous, unique perspectives are gospel, and strong opinions are sacred. This is Non-Sequitur. Never follow. And now, here are your hosts, Kyle Curtis and Steve McCrae.
Well, I should have brought you flowers today, Steve. You know what today is, right?
What today? Today is the day before Thanksgiving, isn't it?
How dare you forget our 1-year
Do you
anniversary?
have an anniversary that I missed? No, what's
Yes,
not the
this was
anniversary of
the
our
first-
channel?
A year ago is when we announced that we were going to do this show.
Oh, when we
on
announced,
your
'cause-
channel.
but the channel was December 14th. That's our
Right.
no,
I mean, like this
yeah, because that's
partnership.
okay. All right, because I know
Your show
the
back-
channel first got exactly. I
you
forgot. I love you. I'm so sorry. I'll make it up to you later. And by the way, is it weird that I really still dance to this music that when we have a lead in? It really gets you
Yes.
going. I really love that intro.
We have company, Steve.
You
Please
don't even see me
don't-
on camera except for Dave. But I still like dancing to it because I love that song. It's got a
Speaking of
killer beat, dude.
Speaking of company, I have been excited about this show for a long time. I've been a fan of this gentleman for a while, and when we started doing the Jilly Juice and the Danny Glass episodes, he popped in I was like, we have to get Myles Power on here because he would just complete the entire. So this is surreal to have him here, and we welcome you, sir. Thank you for taking the time to come on. We really appreciate it.
No, thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
You
And
got a
I'm
big
just
part. I'll give you a big part.
I apologize for him, Myles. It's going to get worse as we go along. So just
it's a
bear with
long
us.
show.
So just a couple of announcements before we dive in. Tomorrow we will not have a Non-Sequitur show. I'm actually going to be streaming with Jimmy. We're going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to try my best. I said this the other day, and I'm going to try my best to do this depending on how much I get done with our family's Thanksgiving. Around 10 o'clock to 10:30, I'm going to go live and show you guys my signature dish. For those of you who don't know, I used to be an executive chef, and I do a really mean Thanksgiving dish, and I'm going to set it up where I'm going to take you through, and we'll cook it together because I have to do it anyway for my family's Thanksgiving. So if I can get it all worked out and logistically squared away, we'll do that. It'll be probably around 10 o'clock, but I'll put an announcement on Twitter or on the community section of our channel, and we'll run through that. Okay, Friday, two things. Everybody knows I have an unhealthy obsession with shopping on Black Friday, so I will be doing some videos from live outside in the madness. We'll show you what's going on with people trying to get the dollhouses for their kids. It's always the biggest one. Parents fight like crazy over the last toy in the it's never the TVs or the electronics. It's always the toys. But also on Friday, we had Lord Rael, who is the gentleman that claims he is the reincarnation of Jesus Christ. We did a show on him about a month ago. He didn't like it, and so he's personally handling this show. He wants to set the record straight, and so if you've ever wanted to ask the I can't believe this is real, the reincarnation of Jesus Christ a question, then now is your time to do so. Myles, I'll tell you this. He actually has a Twitter account, and one of his tweets said this, and I quote, "If you'd like to honor your Lord, be sure to tweet more. Tweet at him more."
Oh, that needs to be like the 11th commandment, doesn't it? Thou shall always tweet excessively.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, somewhere in the Bible, don't you know God planned it?
280 characters or what have you.
We'll find Josh in the Bible code and find it in there.
Yes, absolutely. And then last but not least, Saturday Night Fights, as always, on Saturday nights. Reds and Brother Ernest will be with us. Brother Ernest does not believe that Bruce Lee was a thing. This is something that we will have to tackle before we get into the shape of the earth, but he believes Bruce Lee was a hoax. I don't know how, but he does. And then Myles was probably like, what in the hell have I signed myself up for here?
A little bit, I'm not going to lie.
We get some strange people, man. We like to talk to strange people.
Oh, I love that too. So I'm going to fit in really well here.
Exactly, and there's quite a few things. The one thing with that kind of eats through your face, the black. So I'm not familiar with that. This was new to me whenever I was looking at some of your video, deeper into your videos, and as I looked into that, I became more and more freaked out that people actually do that. So I'm looking forward to learning about a little bit more about how that works. So yeah, let's jump right into it. Myles, for those out there who are watching that maybe don't know who you are, can you kind of give them a brief intro and why you do what you do?
Yeah, sure. So my name is Myles Power. I'm from a small town in the northeast of England called Middlesbrough, and I'm a YouTuber. Not professionally, I'm a chemist in real life, but I have a hobby, which is making YouTube videos where I like to, I guess, fact check the more interesting things that people say online, because I believe at the moment there's a bit of a renaissance happening in pseudoscience, pseudomedicine, general quackery, and just bullshit. I'm allowed to swear, aren't I? That's okay, isn't it?
Oh, yes, please.
Yeah,
it's encouraged.
We'll go with that.
Yeah, fucking marvelous. Yeah, so I've got a YouTube channel where I fact check these things, and also I tend to go after things that are generally accepted by the general public that turn out to be absolute rubbish. For example, there's a lot of hysteria around GMOs and that they cause everything under the sun, which factually is not accurate. So I've been doing this now for, as of last week, 8 years, so quite a large chunk of my life, and I finally got 100,000 subscribers, which is fantastic. And here's to the next 100,000. Eh?
Yeah,
it's not a bad hobby. He said it's a hobby, but that's not a bad hobby having over 100,000 people follow your hobby. I mean, you've made it then. I don't. Here's the thing, though. Like we just hit a little over 17K. We just started in February, and we just hit a little over 17K. And just in these 8 months, I am my faith in humanity has tanked so much because I learned about things doing YouTube that I never knew existed. How did you survive 8 years dealing with this shit? I just can't imagine.
I think it has to do with I have a very high threshold of what really winds me up. So there's a lot of stuff I'll listen to. There's a lot of events I'll go to, and I can report back to people what I've seen and what I've learned, and they will lose their minds, be like, "Oh my goodness, how did you not punch this person in the face?" But to me, I don't know. I have a I guess a disconnect for some of the more unsettling things that I've discovered over the last 8 years. I mean, don't get me wrong. There are times where you're reading something or you're watching a video and you're like, Jesus Christ, someone needs to stop these people. They are going to kill people if they haven't already. And I'm sure we're going to talk about various examples later on. But no, I think it all comes back to me having a high threshold in bullshit, basically.
What I'm interested then, what is something that does push the envelope for you? Like, what's something that just is?
Yeah, the I don't know if I should tell you because that's just inviting people to send me stuff now. No, but what really gets to me is things done to either animals or people who can't consent. So I hate any kind of bullshit that's performed on animals. I think anyone who does that should have their animal taken away from them. I think they should be locked away. I mean, a lot of people think that I don't like. Yeah, a lot of people think that I don't like nature because I'm pro GMO and all this kind of stuff with it, and I don't like animals. That's bollocks. No, I do. And if anyone uses quackery on an animal, I have no sympathy. And it's the same for children and adults who, elderly adults who are suffering, let's say, from dementia or what have you. I think it's truly awful, and that really gets my blood going. But that's probably the only thing that really does off the bat straight away.
I will tell you that we are one and the same in that. That is the one thing that I can't stomach. And like even when I don't know if you have them over there in England, but we have these commercials for the ASPCA. And it plays Sarah McLachlan, that aren't in the arms of the angel song, and it shows all of these cowering dogs and kittens, and every time that comes on, I dive bomb for the remote to change the channel. Like I can't even hear the song now without thinking of those those poor little dogs. So we've had the opportunity to do quite a few episodes, or we've had people ask us to do episodes on animal abuse, and we've done one. And I don't think I could do another one because sitting there watching and listening, and I just can't do that. I'm right there. Were you going to say something? Follow up right there? I didn't mean to cut you off.
Who, me? Oh no, sorry about that. It's just a bit of a lag, so it's quite difficult.
Yeah, with the system, there is a little bit of a lag. It becomes more fluid as we go along, but it is you got to get used to it at first. Okay, so the reason that I wanted you to come on initially, and what made me think of you, is Jilly Juice. Now, Jilly is no stranger to this channel. Everybody knows Dick Pic Gate with my comment that I left where she got offended a couple hours before showtime, and oddly enough, it was the next day. We did our show anyway. We had Jeff Holiday come on, and we all did kind of like a summary of what she pushes out there. She had a little bit of a breakdown on Facebook, and wound up getting banned for 30 days. And it was inspired by me because that's when she went on the gay kick. Like the gay thing is something that you can flush out of your system. It's an evil energy that needs to die out. So Facebook struck her for that. So if anything, we did get her at least from not posting crap on Facebook for 30 days. But you actually went a step further, and you did something that that you're a brave man. And we're going to show about a minute of this clip, but I want you guys to focus on Myles' face, and you will be able to see everything that Jilly Juice is, I think.
I mean, what do I plan to achieve by this? I mean, it's going to be awful. I'm going to spit it out because it's fucking salt water.
Oh, Dave, we don't have sound.
How anyone can get past that?
Yeah, there's no audio on that, Dave.
We're just looking at his face. I get it.
Okay, you guys.
Okay, for the podcast people, we are looking at Myles' face and his look of disgust. So let me I'll narrate this. Oh, he just keeps it up.
Okay,
it was good. Looks tasty, man.
Oh god.
People that listen to this podcast in the future, they know how lucky they are.
Okay.
They didn't see this.
Okay, how can I describe it? Well, it's exactly what you think of. It's horrible. cabbage that's been left out for 3 days in salt water. It's gross. The smell is horrible.
Right.
And